So hello everyone, this is Shubham Divakar over here, and I welcome you all to this series wherein we solve the LeetCode daily challenges. And the challenge that we have today is single number 2. So basically I solved it earlier only, just before now. So the question is, given a non-empty array of integers, every element appears thrice or three times except for one element which appears exactly once. So we need to find that single element. Now let's take an example. Before we move on to this part, the example is in an array we have 2, 2, 3, and 2. So here we can clearly see we have 2, 3 number of times it is occurring thrice, and we have only one element which is occurring once, that is 3, and we need to output this 3. Now the note to be taken care of is your algorithm should have a linear time complexity, which means it should run in O of n, and could you implement it without using extra memory, and we have to implement it without using extra memory or in O of 1 space. So we'll try doing that only. There are two solutions to this problem. The solution which I would be coding, would be discussing that, but as I said, there are two solutions. So one solution is completely based upon both the solutions are based on bit manipulation only, but one is completely based upon ones and twos, and then you need to store the count of, in three variables, ones and twos, and then whenever element occurs one, you put in, and whenever a element occurs the next time, you remove it from one and then you put it to two. So I guess that solution is very much common, but the solution which I would be providing would also run in a linear time complexity, as well as would also run in O of 1 space complexity. Alright, so we do not have to worry about that, but that solution is very much easy to understand as compared to the previous solution which I was telling about. And I think the viewers could have a better understanding of the question and the solution which I would be providing. Alright, so let's move ahead, and I will take this example wherein we have three number of twos and one threes. So we'll take exactly in this order, and we'll see how we can proceed over here. So let's say, so the question what I was having, so I was having basically, this was 2, I had again a 2, then I had a 3, then I had a 2. So if I represent this in binary form, this binary of 2 would be 0, 1, 0. This 2 would also be written in this format, 0, 1, 0. 3 would be 0, 1, and 1, and 2 would be 0, 1, 0. This is the 0th bit position, this is the first bit position, and this is the second bit position. Alright, so what observation I can take from here is that in the 0th bit position we have only one set bit. Alright, so we'll store the, what I'm thinking is I would store and count how many bits are set in this 0th bit. So we can clearly see we have only one bit that is set. Alright, and in this place we have four number of ones, which means 4-bit positions are set. So I'll put a 4 over here, and here I have 0 bit, so it would be 0, and consecutively for a 32-bit number this would go on to up to how much, up to 32. 32 minus 3, we have 29. Alright, so not 29, but from here, starting from here, this would be 0, 1, 2, and we'll go on up to 32. So we do not need to take care of other numbers because others are 0 only. So what conclusion we can draw from here is that, so let's first see what exactly is this 1, 4, and this 0, 1 and 4 basically. So as we all can see over here, let's first see what 4 exactly is. Alright, the question was given that we have every element occurring thrice. So 4 is nothing but 3 into 1 plus 1. Okay, and this 1 can be written in the form of 3 into 0 plus 1, and this 0 we do not have to take care of this. Alright, if we had a number here, we could also have written it in the form of this only, 3 into n plus 1. So we would have written it in the form of, 3n plus 1. Now why 3n plus 1 is because we have only one element which is occurring once, and the rest elements are occurring three times. So these are the bit positions of the three numbers, of all the numbers, in which all the bit positions should be except one element, except 1 0 or except 1 1, rest all should be of the form of this 3n only. All right, so this 1 can be represented in the form of 3 into 0 plus 1. All right, and this 4 can be represented as 3 into 1 plus 1, and we can see this one and this one belongs to the three twos that we have. All right, and this one belongs to the 3, and this 3 is the single number which we have to store. All right, now since the number is 3, what if we divide this by 3, or we take the remainder, like we do the modulus operation with 3. So what is the remainder that we get? We have 1, again we have 1, and we have 0, and consecutively we have zeros here also. So what this number represents in decimal representation is, this would be 3 itself, which is nothing but our answer. All right, so the solution, I guess, is pretty much clear now. What exactly we are doing over is, for every bit position we need to count how many set bits we have. Okay, like in this case we have 1, and then we need to check whether whether this bit position is whether this bit position is having exactly, whether the count of the set bit positions is divisible by 3 or not. If yes, then we put set, or then we will set 0. If then we'll set 0. All right, like see, if I'll take another example. Okay, I'll put up here only, like see, if we had again a 3, like if we had like all the zeros over here. All right, and we had 6 elements, we had 7 elements. Okay, and all the 7 elements would be having 0 over here, so we would be having, the count would be again 3 into 2 plus 1. All right, so what basically I'm trying to say over here is that if I use a modulo operator, I'll get 1 over here, and if I use a modulo operator, I get again a 1 over here. And if I turn this into binary, this is in binary format, and if I turn this into decimal, I'll get it to be 3. So what I do is, for every bit position I count how many bits are set, and then what I do is, this count I modulo this by 3, and if the count is, if there is a remainder, then I set that remainder to this bit position. Okay, and if this is 0, then we do not have to do anything. So when I mean by setting this, what exactly I'm doing is, let's say I have a variable r wherein this is 0 initially. Now if I need to set this 1 over r, so what I would do is, r is equal to r, or, and then this would be the result. Let's say we have 1 over here, so we'll put up 1, and then we will left sheet this to be 1 times. Why 1 time? No, not 1, because this is a 0th index position, so we need to keep this 0. All right, so this is for the first case, and this one is nothing but, let's write this in a formalized way. So this one would be nothing but this sum, or this CTR. This CTR stores the count of the set bits modulo 3. Okay, this CTR modulo 3, which would be left shifted by how many bits. The number of bits would depend upon on which bit position we are in. Like for this one, we are in bit position 0, so we'll put up a 0. For this one we'll put up a 1, and for this one we'll put up again 2. So we'll not put 0, we'll put up I. All right, so now the general formula for, the generalized expression. So the generalized expression now it becomes is that this r would be equal to r, or this CTR modulo 3 over here, and this would be left shifted I number of times, where I is the current bit position. We need to run this I from 0 to less than 32, since we are beginning with 0. All right, so moving ahead to the coding part. So I guess the solution is pretty much clear. What we are doing over is, we always need to store the count of the number of set bits in a particular bit position, and then we need to modulo it by 3. Now why 3? Because the elements are occurring thrice. All right, now there is a very interesting observation we can take from here, which I'll tell you at the end. So every time you find the modulo, let's say the modulo is 0, so we will setting up 0 over here in the bit position of r, in this bit position in the r. All right, so we do not need to take care of that. So we'll put up a CTR, we'll modulate it by 3, and whatever the remainder is, we need to set this value CTR modulo 3 into this ith bit position. So CTR modulo 3 left shifted by I, and then we'll do r is equal to r. So basically this is nothing but the expression wherein we set the ith bit. All right, and for checking whether the bit is set or not, we what we would write here is, let's say this is array, let's say it's a of, let's say it's an element k, so this would be k and 1 left shifted to I, and this should not be equal to 0. So this is a very simple example of how we check whether the particular the ith bit is set or not. So let's say we have 2 over here, we take example of 2, and we want to check whether this first bit is set or not for 2. Let's check for 3 only, because this first bit is set. So I would be 0, 1 left shift 0 would be 1, and then what do we have in k? In k we have 3, so that would be 0, 1, 1, and then we are doing an AND operation with 1, so 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 0, and this is the AND operation, and we have 1. So if this is not equal to 0, yes, this is not equal to 0, which means this ith bit position or the 0th bit position is set in 3. So I guess the solution is pretty much clear. So now I'll code this for you. We'll check whether this runs or not. So going ahead with the solution, int n would be equal to nums dot length. Then we need a variable to store the result, which would be result int result is equal to 0. We'll initialize this to 0 because we start here, and then first we need to iterate through all the bits, which would be 32. So I equal to 0, I is less than 32, I plus plus. Now we need to store the count of all the values. I mean, we need to store the all the set bit positions at the ith index. All right, so j would be running from 0 to n, then j plus plus, then we would check whether the particular ith bit is set in nums of j. So nums of j and 1 left shifted by ith bit, I mean left shifted I times, and this should not be equal to 0, because if this becomes 0 we will be getting, if this becomes 0, which means that the ith bit is not set. So if this is it's set, we'll store the value in ctr. And now what we will do is this result, now we will set this, now we will set ctr modulo 3, whatever we will get by doing the modulo operation, will set that number in the ith bit in the result. Okay, so that would be result is equal to result, or, and then what we need to do is ctr modulo 3, and this would be left shifted I times. So whatever the result would be, that would be left shifted I times, and then would be set in result. So I guess more or less this, okay, this has to be out of the loop, not inside, because we, okay, we are set, you know, this has to be inside the loop only, because for every bit position we need to do this. All right, so yeah, see, and then finally we return the result. We'll run this and check this works or not. Okay, so your answer, my answer is 3, expected answer is also 3, and then we'll submit. Okay, so it says it got accepted. So yeah guys, so this was the solution to the today's daily challenge of LeetCode, and this was a very interesting question as well. So now what I wanted to tell you all, why we are using 3 over here. So the sole purpose of using 3 over here, because we know every element is occurring thrice. All right, so the sum of digits will always be in the order of 3n plus 1 only. Now let's say we are having a question, now we are generalizing it, wherein all the elements occur 4 times, so the question would be 4n plus 1. All right, and if it and the question is every element occur k times except one element, so it would be k of n plus 1. So this is a very interesting observation that we can make from here. So yeah, I have tried this and that also works. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned to our channel. Please like and subscribe to our videos. Thank you. Thank you everyone.